Acting President Yemi Osinbajo left Nigeria on Tuesday to see President Muhammadu Buhari, who is recuperating in London. President Buhari left for the United Kingdom in May for a medical follow-up.
Now, the meeting lasted more than an hour at the Abuja House in London, and the acting president returned to Nigeria immediately.
Well, first, as you know, I went to see him to check up on him, find out how he was doing. I had, of course, been speaking to him on the phone, and I thought it would be a good thing to go and see him and, generally check up on how he was doing, and also to brief him on developments back at home.
He also spoke on the state of the president's health.
A very good time. We had a very good conversation on wide-ranging issues, and he's in very good spirits. He's recuperating very quickly, and he's doing very well.
So what exactly did they talk about?
Wide-ranging issues. I really can't go into specifics of, all of the discussions we had. We had a very long conversation. We spoke for well over an hour, and his humor is all there. He's doing well. I think we should really expect him back very shortly. As I said, he's recuperating very fast.
All right, discussing this with us right now is a social commentator, Biodun Shomi. Biodun, it's good to have you join us right now.
I'm pleased to be here. Good morning.
Now, the statement, if you listen to the acting president, what he said about his trip to seeing the president in London is not different from what Nigerians are used to. Now, it brings us to the issue of when something like this happens, how much should Nigerians know when it comes to the content of what the acting president goes to discuss with the president in this kind of situation?
Yeah, I'm sure many people are aware of some of the current issues, why there has to be consultation between the acting president and the substantive president, who is currently hospitalized in London. The problem is, it depends on how you view it. If he discloses what he has discussed with Mr. President, the likelihood is that people would want to read minutes into it, and some of them could be very touchy issues, like the issue of restructuring. Let me give you some examples of the things which I think he would have discussed with him. When you have the issue of the two ministers, who succeeded from Gombe and Kogi State, one should be succeeding James Ocholi, the former minister who died prematurely, and the other to replace the Gombe former minister, who is now the Amino Mohammed, who was appointed the Undersecretary General. So he needed to consult on that in order to swear them in. That has not happened. The Senate is making a big force, over that. The other issue is around the other issue is around the issue of, what do they call it, the restructuring argument. That is also there because he needs to consult. They are probably thinking of what to do and what not to do, and he would want to carry the president, make sure he's on board, from whatever they decide to do at the end of the day. You have also other issues of the states, which, for instance, the issue of SGF, Secretary to the Government of Federation, Babachi Lawal, who was suspended, and the panel was set up, by President Muhammadu Buhari to look into it. The panel has since long concluded their work, so he needed to feed back and then take further directives, on what to do about it. You have the issue of the National Intelligence Agency, DG, who was also suspended and under investigation by President Buhari. So all these reports are already, don't forget those investigations were time-bound. They are already. So what do you do with that? You can't leave those posts without substantive appointees.
So you think that the 1 hour long discussion the acting president said he had with the president was enough to discuss all of these issues and come to a reasonable conclusion about them, or it's an ongoing thing? Now, an aside, do you think the hyenas and the jackals will really be excited about this positive report that the acting president brought back on the state of health of the president, saying he was in high spirits, his humor is still there, and all of that? Should that really put paid to all the speculations we've been hearing about all this while?
It's never going to put a stop to it, because there are also people who are waiting in the wings, people like Governor Yofayoshe, ever ready, to take a jibe at Mr. President. So there are people like that also within. Then you have the Nigerians themselves. Nigerians are anxious. They want to know the state of the health of the president. Mr. President is abroad, on being funded. His treatment is being funded by taxpayers, and they have a right to know. Unfortunately, we've not been able to get to a situation where full disclosure or partial disclosure of what Mr. President, the ailment is. We are yet to get to that level. So we still find ourselves, in a situation where people keep speculating about the health of the president. We kept being reassured by government officials that, including the acting president, that all is well, the president will soon be back. The wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, also went, and she came. But nobody has told us exactly what the diagnosis is and what treatment is being, done. Is
that where the Freedom of Information Act 2011 should come in, talking about Section 1 of the FOI Act? And to what extent, really, can you invoke that particular act? Because Femi Adesina, the spokesman of the president, said the president has a right to his privacy. But then again, the FOI Act talks about the need for public officers to reveal information about themselves. Yeah,
the difficulty in that situation is the FOI Act will not be effective in that situation, because Mr. President himself needs to tell his aides what the problem is. No one knows. That's the problem. So you cannot disclose what you don't know. So that's why the FOI Act can't be used in this situation. I think what needs to happen is for the public to put sufficient pressure in a way that public officers must see the need to disclose, no matter what it is. Because at the end of the day, as long as the taxpayers is funding your treatment, people have a right to know. So we can't keep playing this game of hiding or saying that it's private. There's nothing private the moment you seek public office and you're occupying that office. You have to be able to tell people.
There's still the question of the law from the window of how long the president should be away,
or how long he can be away,
how indefinite he can be away, and when he goes beyond there, what should be done and all of that.
Some people have been talking about the 60 days rule. That applies to civil service. It will apply to civil servant, not to the president. The president can be away for as long as necessary. The Constitution clearly stipulates when the president can be replaced. He can be away for as long as necessary. It's only when he's impeached or removed from office, he resigns, or his tenure expires.
Or he's incapacitated.
Or incapacitated and then removed, and then, or his tenure expires. Otherwise, the president can be abroad and still be functional. After all, president do go on foreign trips. We've had so many experiences in Nigeria without handing over. I mean, we've seen that. We saw that happen some in the recent years. But the fact of the matter is, the country is sick currently. The economy is sick. We need somebody to be fully in charge of the economy.
But some people have actually said that when a president, the president of any country, whether it's Nigeria or the United States or Saudi Arabia, has to go for medical help outside of his country, it could open the country to some kind of security risk. Is there any such risk in this situation at all that you foresee?
In our own case, it's not likely going to be an external aggression. Of course, we know the country is tottering on the brink, and there's huge tension within the country. Apart from the economic crisis, which we are trying to walk ourselves through, we also have the fragile unity of the country being challenged, from left and right. So you clearly need somebody to be in charge with a view, to manage the whole situations. We can't continue to do this because look at what happened the last time with IPOP saying they want to succeed, given October 1st deadline. October 1st is approaching. What are we doing about it? They said there won't be elections, Anambrans won't vote in elections. We have not resolved anything. If they fail to vote, what is the implication for the country? We have the Arewa youths. We have challenges here and there. We can't afford a part-time president. We need somebody to be in charge. The prayer of everybody is for Mr. President to get well in time and come back, and provide the necessary leadership in this situation. Okay. A situation where the Vice President has to act and is not too sure what to do and not to do, and he needs to go for consultation, cannot be ideal given the challenges we are faced with. All right,
let's bring in, let's put you on hold, Biodun, a little bit, and bring in Fola Dele to give us a reaction on social media. Fola, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you again, Mike.
What are Nigerians saying?
Good morning, Biodun.
Good morning.
Okay, you can imagine a lot. But let's see. Ifreke Yang says, Osinbajo, 6 hours to London, 1 hour meeting, 6 hours back to Abuja, FEC meeting by 11 a.m. Man was built for this. Jeffrey says, the only pictures of Osinbajo that we haven't seen are when he's in the restroom or bedroom, but he go London, go see Buhari, no picture. Oluyombi Isaac Fajobi says, believe he will tell us the true picture of what he sees as a pastor. OBNSO says, welcome back from London, our acting president. How is our ailing president? How soon is he coming back? Well, shortly, like we heard.
Well, he's answered those questions already.
Yes. Hemi Weather says, God bless Nigeria, God bless at Buhari, God bless Prof. Osinbajo. We shall sing a victory song. Always so positive. Okay.
Amen to that.
Yeah, amen, amen. Okay. So, the first tweet I read there where someone was saying, the acting president went to London, 6-hour flight, came, had a 1-hour meeting, came back, went for a FEC meeting. He was built for this. And then, there were a few people that said, why are we over-celebrating him just doing his duties? Why is this a big deal? And you've probably seen, being a social commentator, I'm sure you've probably heard and seen people, saying, oh, the acting president has really stepped up and he's stepped in, working hard. Do you think that we are exaggerating what he's doing? Or is he just doing his job and people just need to just act like, it's not a big deal?
No, the country is divided. You can see the level of anxiety from the tweets. The country is divided between those who want an immediate resolution and those who think we should tarry a bit and wait for Mr. President, praying that he should be back in time. You also see the political undertones, of where people stand on national issues as being discussed on the streets day by day. So the problem is this: some people are actually fed up of these issues. They want a quick resolution to it, and some others actually think maybe we need to wait a bit and see how the whole thing develops. It shows one thing: a divided country. The opinions are divided. Supports base of those opinions, you can see the plurality of it.
Isn't
and at
that
the end
in
of the
itself
day,
normal in any society? You can't have everybody on the same.
We can't have everybody on the same side. It is, but it shows the level of division within our country. Currently the country is badly polarized. We need somebody to pull us all together.
That's a unifying factor.
Yeah, we need a unifying factor in our president. We need somebody to be fully in charge, deal with the challenges of the day, deal with this anxiety, which is all over the air, so that at the end of the day we can. And
do you think the acting president is doing a good job at that?
To be honest, I think Professor Osinbajo has done very well to hold the fort together. He's gone. He's tried to address.
Question. Yeah, that's all I wanted to.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Well, we don't have all the time right now, but let me ask you this before we go. Do you think that the president's ailment is creating room for political undercurrents towards 2019 already from some elements in the country? Oh yes, we've had a lot of undercurrents. Don't forget the other time the Chief of Army Staff Buratai told us that some people were meeting with politicians and concerned about coup. So we have the 2019, we have those politicians who feel they should lash into restructuring agenda with a view to project their own ambition. We have those who are against restructuring who think that would also help them to project it. So there is all manners of undercurrents, in the atmosphere. But at the end of the day, the decisive thing is we need a leader, somebody to be fully in charge, whether it's acting president or President Buhari.
And of course, the acting president had to play the Scarlet Pimpernel on us. Now you see him, now you don't, and then you see him again.
Precisely.
The fact that he had to actually, he was already gone and back before we
have to end it now. Sorry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.